Hey guys, welcome at CryptoStamp. Today we are going to talk about Measurable Data Token. Measurable Data Token has recently been added to CoinMarketCap and sits around the price of 83 cents. You can buy it at OKEx and Gate.io, and it has a total supply of 1 billion MDT. What is Measurable Data Token? Measurable Data Token is a decentralized data exchange economy. First of all, we're going to go through the white paper, then we're going to go through the website, then we're going to look at their social platforms. So I downloaded the white paper so I could highlight the most important things. So here you see the white paper, Measurable Data Token, Decentralized Data Exchange Economy. We're going to go through the white paper in detail. So, keyword, blockchain, big data, decentralized. Big data is the new oil, yet the ones who contribute to most of it are unaware of that treasure. Users trade their data unconsciously in exchanges for a free app or services. The solution is a decentralized, transparent data exchange economy based on blockchain technology. So, what is the problem that you are willing to solve? A lot of data is consumed through the web apps that we use, and these apps, this data is used by big companies to use on their advertisements, to use on other activities that they are planning, events. They use all these data to plan these things to perfection all the income that they can get. MDT connects data providers, users, and data buyers. The first component of this ecosystem will be an open messenger. MDT, I'm going to say MDT because it's easier to say than the complete name. MDT is going to make an open ecosystem, an open messenger to solve this problem. Introduction. Companies strive to mine more data from services and users to profit from the inherent value of information, but the market is really inefficient. The main purposes for collecting user data include advertisements, product enhancement, and business insights. And here they will give you some examples of these things. Take Google as an example. Google, major known for it ads, for their ads. When you first sign up for a Google account, Google attempts to collect your name, your email address, password, date of birth, gender, telephone, and address, enabling the company to push more relevant or advertising to users. They use your emails, your calendar, events, photos, videos to customize your advertisements and your search results so that you find what you are searching for. Another example is Foursquare. Foursquare is the main feature of Foursquare is data location, so giving companies location data of where their users could be. A product called Foursquare Location Intelligence. They released so this company in 2016 released a report predicting that, according to the data they have, sales of the famous American food chain Chipotle would drop 30% in Q1. So, and this happened. So what did they do? They, with the data location they had from all the users, they gathered all the data, and with the data they predicted, because we're going a lot, the location data in Chipotle was a lot lower than usually. Usually they predicted that their sales would not the stock, the sales would drop 30% in Q1, and this happens. So this is a truth. This is showing you how data can be really relevant for companies and for investors. So data is anonymous collecting data really detrimental to users. If the market is one-sided and users' data is unfairly exploited by data collectors, The answer is decidedly yes. When users can participate in a process and receive incentives for sharing their own data, then the process becomes fairer and even beneficial for users. So what's the bad thing about how it's happening now? That the users from which the data come have no saying in this. So everyone can exploit the data from these people who don't even know that their data is being spread around. So here they are gonna tell you what's the traditional data of how traditional data gets traded, and they're gonna compare it to their own data trading system. A traditional data trading model mostly consists of three parties: the data provider, the data buyer, and the users. In the current model, only the economic incentives of providers and buyers are aligned, but in the new model, we propose incentives for all three. Incentives of all three will be aligned. So the providers who give the data to the companies get rewarded, and the data buyers who buy the data get rewarded by using the data. But the middleman from which the data comes gets left behind. Here they explain every of the three parts. Data provider provides the medium where data is generated. It can be an app, a website, or any service that acquires and retains users. Data buyer is a merchant, advertiser, an investor, big data institute, or other companies that require the data to predict trends or make decisions. The user is using the apps and shares the data willingly or unwillingly with all other parties. In the current model, their data sharing activities has no economic gain. And that's what MDT wants to change. A new ecosystem for data exchange. To change this unfair and inefficient trading model, we need a new platform and unit of data exchange. The first steps towards fulfilling this vision is to introduce Measurable Data Token, a new token for data exchange. It denominates the value of data in this new economy. So here we see that money will be distributed fairly through all the parties. Users are incentivized with MDT token for the actual data once exchanged. Buyers are also provided with a more efficient exchange model where all transactions are strictly enforced with cryptographic secure smart contracts. In traditional closed data exchange, buyers used to be at risk of buying invalid or fake data without any ways to verify. So MDT doesn't only want to make it a good thing for the middleman, but it wants to make it a better environment, a better product for the data buyers, for the providers, and for the users. And here they are telling us how. Measurable Data Token is a token based on Ethereum, and it will be using smart contracts, so which are applications stored in the Ethereum blockchain, as we all know, are constructed by data providers. So these smart contracts are constructed by data providers, data buyers, and the MDT platform. Here they explain all the words you need to know. Measurable Data SDK, an open source and free SDK, will be offered to the providers and the developers. The SDK includes a wallet address, which will be used to reward people. Users will opt into MDT ecosystem and share their anonymous, unidentifiable data will receive rewards income from the MDT ecosystem. So if someone is willing to share their own data with data providers, they will be rewarded with MDT tokens in the MDT wallet. Measurable Platform A decentralized data exchange platform where all transactions are based on smart contract technology. Initially, the Measurable Platform will be administered by the MDT Foundation and will charge calculation fees from each transaction. However, over time, it will be purely based on smart contract technology. So at first, an MDT team will be managing the platform, but in the long term, it should be ran by smart contracts. Here you have a visualization of the product. So you have the data buyer and the data provider who get to an arrangement to share data. If they have an agreement that they are gonna buy, that the data buyer is gonna buy from the data provider, there will be a smart contract constructed by the Measurable Platform. Then the data buyer, if the data buyer accepts the deal after having paid, yes, the smart contract gets executed. If the data buyer is not happy with data, if he thinks that the data is fake or just made up, he can opt for arbitration. This will be an MDT experts team that will impartially decide if the data is usable, is fake or not. If the arbitration says, yes, this is not fake, it's real legit data, the smart contract will get executed anyways. If the arbitration agrees with the data buyer and sees that the data is fake, the deal is not valid, and the smart contract gets instructed, and the data buyer gets a fee back, the money back that they put in, and a fee goes to the arbitration to the MDT platform. So here they have it all explained once again. Data buyer submits a request, the data provider outputs invoked data points and user public key respectively. The Measurable Platform notified to construct a smart contract, as we saw in the visualization. They need the user public key, data dimension, user reward percentages, and other transaction conditions. The data buyer sends payment to the smart contract. So the data buyer does not pay the data provider directly, but it pays the smart contract address. And if the request is activated, the data buyer accepts the deal. If it accepts the claim data is valid, then the smart contract will get executed by Measurable, and the data provider gets MDT rewards. Else, if the data is invalid, the Measurable Platform initiates arbitration, and the arbitration will decide if the data is valid or not. As you already said upstairs, if it's fake, the data buyer gets the money back, and if it's legit, the contract gets executed anyways. As you see here, data buyer puts the money in. If the data is legit, money goes to data provider, to the user, and a small fee to the Measurable Platform. If you want some examples, you can go through them yourself. There are a lot of good examples to understand the concept. Here you have a table with the difference between traditional data exchange and the MDT ecosystem. So let's go through it. User's data exchange is not valued. User is paid for measurable data points. The user is excluded from the system. The user takes part in the ecosystem with the MDT ecosystem. In the traditional data exchange, buyers at risk of purchasing invalid data without knowing. In the MDT ecosystem, buyer has right to submit an arbitration. Complex negotiation due to different entities. In the MDT, it's not like that because you have an efficient exchange model. Dispute difficult to solve because they can't really decide if the data is legit or not. Here you have in the MDT ecosystem, you have a decentralized platform that remains impartial. With the traditional data exchange, unexpected factors are in the transactions. Because of the smart contracts, you don't have this problem with MDT ecosystem. Now we're going to go through some use cases, how the MDT project will handle the practical way. MDT integration in Open Messenger. Messenger apps have become the preferred means for communication for simplicity. All the messengers such as WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. are closed platforms. So what do they mean with closed platforms? If you are on Facebook, you can't send something to a Skype account. That's easy. That's a closed platform. An open platform would be if Facebook was an open platform and Skype was an open platform, you would be able to send a message from Facebook to Skype. On these huge platforms, users manage their social lives, bank accounts, transportation, entertainment, and many other services. Users are increasingly living their digital lives in different closed bubbles. These closed platforms controlled by different giant tech companies. An example of an open platform would be email. Email is one open and universally used communication protocol. Open Messenger, the MDT Open Messenger, is a messenger app built on top of the protocol of email, which makes it a natural fit for adoption as a decentralized solution. In the future, Open Messenger is going to be a blockchain-based product, but in the beginning it will have some support from the MDT team. Open Messenger is launching soon on the iOS and Android app market first. The Open Messenger team are veterans of messaging apps, really important, take notice. They have successfully developed two popular messenger apps, Mailtime and TopBox Voice Messenger. We will go through this later, but Mailtime was a really big, not that big, but a pretty big app that made emails look like a chat. For example, how you have WhatsApp now. If you send someone an email, you will get it in the form of a WhatsApp message with their own layout, of course. And TopBox was huge. It had 13 million users. It was the pioneer of click, talk, message, like you have at WhatsApp, where you can click a button and you can speak and release the button, and your friend whom which you're talking will get the message, the talk message. The MDT is also backed by some pretty significant people. Zen Fund, I don't know, Gary Reichel from SoftBank, Crystal Steam, 5P Engineering of Baidu, Y Combinator, which is a pretty big company which supports startup companies, Mark Pincus, which is the founder of Zynga, also a pretty big name, and Mike Magic Stone, Mailtime, which was their first product, the second product was awarded one of the App Store's Best of 2015 and has reached over 3 million downloads. Mailtime was also awarded the Best Lifestyle App at the Best Mobile App Awards 2016. This is a pretty big. So how is Mailtime related? The team that is behind Mailtime and TopBox is a team that is making now MDT possible. Another former project of the team, TopBox, was the first voice messenger app with 13 million users. This functionality, this was in 2011, I think, so smartphones were already coming up, so 30 million is a pretty big number. This functionality of push a button to talk was eventually adopted by major tech companies and is now featured in most messaging services, like for example WhatsApp. The early version of Open Messenger that will come supports the following features: managing unlimited email accounts within one app, email experience as easy as text messaging, like they did with Mailbox, earn MDT token from the data exchange economy, earn and spend MDT from using the open messenger, store and manage crypto assets with the built-in MDT wallet. So this team is pretty amazing because they have a lot of experience. Also, as a team, they have a lot of experience, have made some pretty significant apps. So the team is not a rookie team. It's a team that knows how to work with each other, that knows how to deliver a product, a finalized product. So I'm really excited for this project. MDT user growth pool. To drive the MDT ecosystem growth, an MDT user growth pool is reserved to reward early adopters and users with MDT. So early adopters of MDT will be rewarded. In the early stage, users will also get rewards from being active on the platform. For instance, a user being active for 30 significant days, consecutive days will be awarded with certain amount of MDT. The goal is also to allow users to earn MDT currency by providing value to ecosystems and the community through data exchange, commerce, and service creation. Advertising with your mail signature. This is case 3. Open Messenger allows users to utilize their signature as an advertising placement. I would want to give you an example. So for example, you have the soccer, we call it football. The football players, they have advertisement on their shirts. This would be the same but with your email signature. So you would have ads displaying at the end of your email under your last words. And people would get paid for this. Users are allowed to decide whether they want to opt in to the signature advertising campaign or not. If they choose to opt in, they need to select the specific categories of ads that they are willing to include in their signatures. For instance, they can choose to include only fashion-related ads or exclude all e-commerce ads. Users of Open Messenger, however, will not see the email signature since Open Messenger hides users' signatures to make the communication experience as easy as text messaging. Only those who are not using the app will see the ads. We have some examples, some visual examples of how it will look. Here's an example. Use case: User B is a freelancer writer who needs to email different editors and clients on a daily basis. He joins the signature advertising campaign of MDT and opts into the books and movies categories for advertisement. Soon, under his personal signature, each email he sends comes with an advertisement banner. Since the categories he selects is quite related to his expertise, which is books, the conversion rate of his advertisement is quite high, thus earning B a considerable amount of revenue every month. So what do they mean with this? If you are someone who only sends mails to people who are connected in the football world, you can select for your signatures at the end of your emails that you only get advertisements about sports. And because the mails you are sending are to people who are interested in sports, the chances are bigger that they will click on the advertisement and that you will be paid more. Now, use case 4, MDT Wallet. The MDT Wallet will first be built on the Open Messenger app. In the future, it will be an independent open source project that can be used by other developers, implemented on the Ethereum blockchain as an ERC20 token. In the future, the MDT wallet will enable users to send, receive, or transfer payments without understanding the raw technology behind. Here you see how their wallet would look. Then another very interesting use case, VIP mail. So VIP mail allows users to connect with influential celebrities or professionals who were usually difficult to reach while protecting receivers from spam by charging the sender. So with the MDT tokens that you would receive, You would be able to send VIP mails to these influential people. Open Messenger is introducing a new VIP mail service, which is for anyone who does not want to disclose his or her own email address through an open messenger platform. User gets a masked email address which is directed to his or her own email address. Users can set a price for his VIP email address, for example 5 MDT, and then edits his own VIP profile. The VIP user can be a celebrity, a professional, or anyone who wants to keep his inbox from spamming. So what do they mean with this? Just like we have private key and a public key and a private key, they would have a private email which they only give to confidential people, and a public email which they would give to people who want to pay to send them an email. For example, this would be interesting for a person that is really famous. Let's say Ronaldo. We're talking a lot of football, so let's say Ronaldo or Messi. They would give a public email with whom you would have the option to pay 100 MDT to send them an email which they themselves would respond on. After creating this profile, users can share this masked email address publicly on their business cards, personal website, or social network page as a contact email. When a sender sends an email to the VIP email address, he will get an automatic reply from the platform detailed how much it will cost to send this VIP email. After payment, this email will be sent, and the sender will also be notified when it's opened by the VIP. Do you see? So we have gone through the most important stuff. Now we're going to go. We are going to go to the conclusion and then the team. MDT's vision since 2011 has been to build an open platform. Their first project, TopBox, which was a closed platform, had 30 million users and is now a feature in most messaging services. In 2015, they built MailTime, which was awarded Best of 2015 Apple App Store. And the team was also invested by Y Combinator, Zenfund, Mark Pincus, and many prestigious venture capital after its launch. As veterans of communication platforms, the MDT team had already identified a number of established use cases within the new ecosystem and are confident about its adoption and growth. In the future, MDT aims to scale and become an industry standard for the data exchange and user incentive model. So that was their conclusion. Now let's look at the team. Their CEO, I marked the most important stuff. So the CEO of MailTime and the founding team of TopBox, you see a lot of these people have the same resume. So as I said before, this team already knows each other. Here you have a writer of TechNote and TechCrunch. Here you have a former chief editor at JP Morgan's blockchain, which is a pretty big bank. Lead engineer MailTime, TopBox, as you see, MailTime. This is a team that is probably really connected to each other, that understands each other, that is on the same level with each other, because there are so many years together already. Now, look at this. Early investors, you have the Y Combinator partner Paul Buckets. He was the creator of Gmail. I think I don't need to explain what Gmail is. And you have the founder and CEO of Zynga, Mark Pincus. Zynga, which is a big game company. And then you have other achievements here. 2014 finalist, best of 2015 Apple Store, the Mail Talk, then the champion 2016 Innovation Award, and etc. So that was their white paper. Now let's look at your website. The website looks pretty basic, not a lot of graphic designs. Yes, not a lot of graphic designs. You can join their MDT on Telegram. Here you have some explanation, visualization, how they distributed their tokens. The ICO is already done, as you know. Their timeline, mail time, measurable all, big data product launch, 2017 MDT token sale completed, which just yet completed. In 2018 spring, the MDT token giveaway event will take launch, and coming soon the Measurable Platform launch, which still hasn't got a date for it. Their team, as you saw in the white paper, the investors and advisors, and where they already have been featured on. So also the mail talk and TopBox have been featured on Fox and CNBC and Forbes. They also have interviews which I saw on Forbes and Fox. So the team is a team that knows how to get big players involved and knows how to get in the big picture. So now I'll show you here, right? Not sure where it was, but they also have a bounty program for people that promote the MDT program. I'm not on the bounty program, if you're asking yourself. Okay, let's go to the social platforms. Here you see Twitter. They have almost 5,000 followers, and they are pretty active. They have Facebook, which has a big thing I would like to show. Here you have the Fox interview and the CNBC interview. They also have a Forbes interview. I was scrolling around here and I saw something that here you have Richard Ma, the CEO of QuantStamp. I love QuantStamp. It's also why my YouTube name is CryptoStamp. I'm in love with the project of QuantStamp. So this got my attention that people from MDT were taking a picture with Richard Ma. So they are spreading the word of their project. They are searching for opportunities, which is important in this crypto where there is a lot of competition. Here you have the Telegram group, 1,600 members, not a lot, but they are very active. I am part of this group, and the CEO is on the Telegram group responding to questions. In the Bitcoin Talk, they are also responsive on the Bitcoin Talk forum. So what is my opinion on this cryptocurrency? It looks really promising. For me, it also looks like a really difficult project because there is so much competition and it's growing so much, but I really see a lot of opportunities. What do I think of the price? The price at the moment is really low. Let me see what could be the market cap. Their volume is this. Let me see. I'm gonna try to calculate their current market cap. So how would you do it? No, that's not right. But the market cap isn't yet available, but it's probably pretty low. So I think this coin could go to a pretty high amount of money. I already invested in MDT on OKEx. This was pretty easy, so just make an account on OKEx if you want to if you want to invest in MDT. Leave a like, a comment, dislike if you didn't like it, and please subscribe if you want more videos like this. And if you have suggestions for tokens, coins, or ICOs, leave it in the comments below. Thank you very much.